The brutal Stoic truth about control, power, and the mind. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who waste their lives fighting reality, and those who master themselves and quietly win. Most people believe success comes from controlling the world, controlling outcomes, people, circumstances, timing, luck. They chase approval, security, and certainty as if these things could ever be owned. And when life inevitably resists them, they suffer. They grow bitter. They feel powerless. But the Stoics saw something different. They understood a truth so simple and so unforgiving that most people still refuse to accept it. You were never meant to control the world. You were meant to control yourself. This is not comforting philosophy. It does not promise ease. It does not whisper false hope. It is a hard discipline for strong minds. Because once you accept this truth, excuses die. Blame disappears. And responsibility becomes absolute. Stoicism does not teach you how to avoid pain. It teaches you how to become unbreakable. At the center of Stoic wisdom lies a single dividing line that separates freedom from misery, power from helplessness, peace from chaos. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. Some things are within your power. Some things are not. Your thoughts, your choices, your judgments, your actions, these belong to you. Opinions, outcomes, other people, external events, these never did. Every moment of suffering, frustration, and fear can be traced back to one mistake, trying to control what was never yours. This text is not about pretending life is easy. It is about discovering the quiet, immovable strength that allows you to stand firm when life is hard. Because the greatest success you will ever achieve is not wealth, not status, not victory over others. It is sovereignty over your own mind. Now, let's dive deeper. 1. The line that decides your fate. What is in your control? Epictetus, a former slave who became one of history's most powerful philosophers, began his teachings with a sentence so sharp it still cuts through illusion 2,000 years later. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. This is not a metaphor. It is a law of life. Your thoughts are up to you. Your values are up to you. Your decisions are up to you. Your actions are up to you. Everything else. Reputation, success, failure, praise, rejection, health, loss, timing, exists outside your command. The moment you confuse these categories, suffering begins. Most people live as if outcomes belong to them. They say, I'll be happy when I succeed, I'll be calm when things go my way, I'll feel worthy when others approve of me. And so their emotional state becomes a hostage to forces they cannot command. The Stoic does the opposite. He says, I will act with excellence, and I release the result. I will choose virtue, regardless of reward. I will govern my response, no matter what happens. This single shift changes everything. Failure loses its power to humiliate you, because your worth was never tied to the outcome. Criticism loses its sting, because other people's opinions were never yours to command. Uncertainty loses its terror, because your peace no longer depends on guarantees. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, reminded himself daily. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Notice what he does not say. He does not say you can control events. He says you can control your relationship to them. Each morning, the Stoic asks a simple question. What is mine to govern today? Not whether the world will cooperate. Not whether others will behave well. Not whether circumstances will be kind. Only this. Will I think clearly? Will I act with integrity? Will I respond with discipline? When you confine your concern to what is truly yours, your energy stops leaking into anxiety and resentment. It becomes focused, calm, dangerous. Because a person who cannot be manipulated by fear, praise, or chaos is almost impossible to defeat. 2. Perception is the battlefield. Events themselves are neutral. Your judgment is what turns them into suffering or strength. The Stoics understood that nothing has meaning until the mind assigns it one. The same event that crushes one person becomes training for another. The same obstacle that breeds resentment in one mind forges resilience in another. The difference is not the event. The difference is perception. Epictetus stated it plainly. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. You lose a job. One person thinks, I am ruined. Another thinks, I am being redirected. You are criticized. One person thinks, I am worthless. Another thinks, I am being tested. You face hardship. One person thinks, why me? Another thinks, good. This will strengthen me. The Stoic trains himself to pause between stimulus and response. That pause is where freedom lives. Before reacting, ask. Is this within my control? What judgment am I adding to this event? Is there another interpretation that strengthens me instead of weakening me? Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This is not denial. This is authority. The Stoic does not lie to himself about reality. He accepts it fully. But he refuses to add unnecessary suffering through catastrophic thinking, self-pity, or entitlement. A setback becomes instruction. A delay becomes discipline. Pain becomes refinement. Each day, remind yourself. Today, events will happen. I do not control them. But I control the meaning I give them. When perception changes, the same world becomes a different battlefield, one where you are no longer a victim, but a strategist. 3. Master the inner citadel. Inside you exists a place no enemy can enter unless you allow it. The Stoics called this the inner citadel, the fortified mind. Your inner voice speaks constantly. It narrates your failures, anticipates your fears, judges your worth. Left undisciplined, it becomes a tyrant. Trained properly, it becomes your strongest ally. Marcus Aurelius warned. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What color are your thoughts painting your life? If your inner dialogue is filled with complaint, comparison, and helplessness, your reality will reflect that weakness. Not because the world is cruel, but because your mind has surrendered command. The Stoic does not tolerate mental chaos. When a negative thought arises, he interrogates it. Is this thought useful? Is it within my control? Does it make me stronger or weaker? If it weakens him, it is dismissed, not debated. Stoicism is not about positive thinking. It is about accurate thinking. You do not tell yourself, everything will be fine. You tell yourself, whatever happens, I will handle it. You do not say, this is easy. You say, this is training. Seneca wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The disciplined mind does not rehearse catastrophe. It prepares for action. This is why Stoics practice daily mental training. They reminded themselves of impermanence, difficulty, and loss. Not to become pessimistic, but to become ready. A mind that expects ease panics at resistance. A mind that expects challenge remains calm. Each day, fortify your inner citadel. Speak to yourself with firmness, not cruelty. Replace complaint with command. Replace fear with readiness. Because when your mind is governed, no external force can truly conquer you. The discipline of desire and the end of emotional slavery. Once you understand what is in your control, a new danger appears. Not the world. Not other people. But your own desires. Most people believe desire is harmless, even necessary. They chase comfort, recognition, certainty, pleasure, and approval without questioning the cost. They assume that wanting more is the same as living fully. The Stoics disagreed. They saw desire as the hidden chain that binds the mind. Because the moment your happiness depends on something you do not control, you have surrendered your freedom. Epictetus warned. Whoever desires what is not in his control will be frustrated, unhappy, and disturbed. This is not a condemnation of ambition. It is a demand for clarity. The Stoic does not eliminate desire. He disciplines it. He asks one brutal question before wanting anything. Is this dependent on me, or on the world? If it depends on the world, he loosens his grip. If it depends on his character, his effort, his integrity, he pursues it with full force. This is how emotional slavery ends. 4. Want less, command more. Every frustration carries a message. You wanted something you did not control. You wanted people to act fairly. You wanted effort to guarantee reward. You wanted life to follow your expectations. And when reality refused, suffering followed. The Stoics reversed the equation. Instead of trying to bend reality to their desires, they bent their desires to reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You will find contentment when you stop hoping for what you do not have and start appreciating what you already do." This is not resignation. This is leverage. The less you need from the world, the less power it has over you. When you stop needing praise, criticism becomes harmless. When you stop needing certainty, uncertainty becomes manageable. When you stop needing comfort, hardship becomes training. The Stoic does not say, "I must have success to be at peace." He says, "I must act well." Peace follows. This shift turns life upside down. Most people chase happiness and occasionally touch virtue. The Stoic chases virtue and allows happiness to arrive as a byproduct. Ask yourself honestly, how much of your stress comes from unmet expectations? How often do you suffer not because of events, but because reality refused to obey your hopes? Reduce the demand, and the suffering collapses. This is why Stoicism produces calm even in chaos. Not because the Stoic escapes difficulty, but because he has removed dependency. Freedom begins the moment you need less. 5. Emotions are signals, not commands. Stoicism is often misunderstood as emotional suppression. This is false. The Stoics did not aim to eliminate emotion. They aimed to refuse obedience to it. Emotions arise automatically. But action is a choice. Anger says, strike. Fear says, run. Desire says, take. The untrained mind obeys instantly and regrets later. The Stoic pauses. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is often more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. The Stoic understands that emotions are information, not authority. Fear asks, is there a threat? Anger asks, was a boundary crossed? Sadness asks, what was lost? But none of them get to decide your behavior. Between feeling and action exists a space. That space is discipline. When anger arises, the Stoic does not deny it. He delays it. He observes it like fire contained in a furnace, powerful, but controlled. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, how much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it. This is emotional mastery. Not numbness. Not repression. But command. Each time you choose reason over impulse, you strengthen the part of yourself that governs. Over time, emotions lose their ability to hijack your life. You feel fully, but you act deliberately. That is Stoic strength. 6. The practice of voluntary discomfort. Comfort weakens the mind. The Stoics knew this long before modern psychology confirmed it. A life spent avoiding discomfort becomes fragile, anxious, and reactive. The smallest hardship feels unbearable. So the Stoics practiced something radical, voluntary discomfort. They trained themselves to endure cold, hunger, simplicity, and inconvenience, not out of self-punishment, but preparation. Seneca advised, set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, asking yourself, is this the condition that I feared? This practice achieves 3 things. First, it removes fear. When you voluntarily experience discomfort, you discover that what you dreaded is survivable. Second, it builds resilience. Hardship stops being a shock and becomes familiar territory. Third, it restores gratitude. Comfort feels richer when it is no longer assumed. The Stoic does not seek pain. He refuses to be ruled by the fear of it. By training under controlled difficulty, he becomes calm under uncontrolled adversity. Ask yourself, how dependent are you on convenience? How quickly does irritation arise when comfort is disrupted? The mind that has never been tested collapses under pressure. The mind that trains remains steady. Discomfort, when chosen, becomes strength. The discipline of action and the power of unshakable character. Mastery of the mind is not an escape from the world. It is preparation to enter it fully. The Stoics never taught withdrawal, isolation, or passivity. They believed that philosophy existed for one reason only: to be lived. Wisdom that does not translate into action is indulgence. Knowledge that does not shape behavior is decoration. Once your thoughts are disciplined, your desires restrained, and your emotions governed, one question remains. How should a rational, disciplined human being act in the world? The Stoic answer is simple and demanding, with duty, integrity, and courage, regardless of outcome. 7. Act without attachment to results. Most people hesitate to act because they fear failure. Others act obsessively because they crave success. Both are enslaved by outcomes. The Stoic stands apart. He understands that action belongs to him, results do not. Epictetus taught, do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. This does not mean inaction. It means detached commitment. The Stoic commits fully to effort, preparation, and execution. But once the action is taken, he releases the result completely. He does not beg reality for validation. This mindset produces an unusual kind of power. You act boldly because fear has lost its leverage. You persist because disappointment no longer defines you. You recover quickly because ego is not tied to success. Consider how much energy is wasted worrying about how things might turn out. The Stoic redirects that energy into what can be controlled, excellence of action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." When action is separated from outcome, courage becomes natural. You do your duty. You accept the result. You move forward unburdened. 8. Duty is the antidote to meaninglessness. When people lose meaning, they seek pleasure. When pleasure fails, they sink into despair. The Stoics offered another path, duty. Not duty as obligation imposed by others, but duty as alignment with nature and reason. To the Stoic, every human being has a role, to act with rationality, fairness, courage, and self-control, wherever life places them. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being." Your circumstances do not define your purpose. Your conduct does. Whether you are praised or ignored, powerful or overlooked, comfortable or strained, your task remains the same, to do what is right, well, and without complaint. This eliminates the modern crisis of meaning. You no longer ask, "What will fulfill me?" You ask, "What does this moment require of me?" And strangely, fulfillment follows. When you commit to duty, motivation becomes unnecessary. Mood becomes irrelevant. Purpose becomes constant. The Stoic does not wait to feel inspired. He acts according to principle and lets emotion catch up later. Meaning is not found. It is generated through action. 9. Endurance is a form of intelligence. Life will apply pressure. Loss will arrive uninvited. People will disappoint you. Effort will not always be rewarded. The Stoic does not treat this as injustice. He treats it as training. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Endurance is not passive suffering. It is active stability under strain. The Stoic asks, "What does this hardship demand of my character? Which virtue is being tested right now? Patience under delay. Courage under threat. Temperance under temptation. Justice under provocation." Every hardship targets a virtue. This reframing changes everything. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What is this refining in me?" Pain stops being an interruption and becomes part of the process. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not poetic optimism. It is strategic realism. The Stoic uses resistance as resistance training. What exhausts others strengthens him. 10. Remain calm in a chaotic world. Calm is not weakness. It is dominance over impulse. In a world addicted to outrage, speed, and noise, the Stoic's composure is almost threatening. While others react, he responds. While others panic, he calculates. Marcus Aurelius warned himself, "Keep calm and carry on." Calm does not mean indifference. It means clarity. The Stoic knows that most problems are made worse by frantic reaction. So he slows down when others rush. He speaks less when others shout. He waits when others demand immediate relief. This restraint is power. Because the calm mind sees options others miss, avoids errors born of emotion, commands respect without demanding it. Ask yourself, how often do you react just to discharge discomfort? How many mistakes were made not from ignorance, but from haste? Calm is a skill. It must be practiced. Breathe before responding. Pause before deciding. Observe before judging. When chaos surrounds you, your stillness becomes an anchor, for yourself and for others. Mortality, impermanence, and the final Stoic freedom. Everything ends. Every possession. Every achievement. Every relationship. Every body. Most people spend their lives running from this truth. They distract themselves with noise, accumulation, and endless pursuit. They live as if time were unlimited, and so they waste it. They live as if loss were optional, and so they panic when it arrives. The Stoics did the opposite. They faced impermanence directly. Not with despair, but with clarity. Because they understood that what ends gives meaning to what exists. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This was not pessimism. It was precision. To remember death is to strip illusion from life. 11. Memento mori, remember you will die. Death is not a tragedy waiting at the end of life. It is the frame that gives life urgency. The Stoics practiced memento mori. Remembering death, not to cultivate fear, but to eliminate procrastination, cowardice, and triviality. When you remember that time is finite, you stop delaying what matters. You stop tolerating what degrades you. You stop fearing opinions that will not survive you. Petty anxieties lose their grip. Ego loses its importance. Courage becomes easier. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The Stoic asks himself, if this were my last day, would this reaction be worthy of me? If this were my last conversation, would these words matter? If this were my last effort, would it be complete? This awareness sharpens action. It cuts through hesitation. You do not need more time. You need more intention. 12. Accept loss before it arrives. Everything you love is temporary. This is not cruelty. It is reality. The Stoics trained themselves to hold people, possessions, and status without illusion of permanence. Not to detach emotionally, but to love without entitlement. Epictetus taught, when you kiss your child, say silently, tomorrow you may die. This sounds brutal to modern ears. But its purpose is not coldness, it is gratitude. When you accept that nothing is guaranteed, love becomes present, not possessive. Gratitude replaces assumption. Loss, when it comes, does not destroy you. The Stoic does not pretend loss will not hurt. He refuses to let it break him. By rehearsing impermanence, he removes surprise. By removing surprise, he preserves dignity. You borrow everything in life. Nothing belongs to you. And what is borrowed should be used well, appreciated deeply, and released without bitterness. 13. Legacy is character, not memory. Most people want to be remembered. The Stoic wants to be worthy. Reputation dies. Statues crumble. Names fade. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the known world, reminded himself, soon you will have forgotten everything, soon everyone will have forgotten you. This was not despair. It was liberation. When you stop acting for applause, you act for principle. When you stop chasing legacy, you focus on conduct. The Stoic does not ask, "How will this look?" He asks, "Is this right?" Your legacy is not what people say about you. It is what you did when no one was watching. It is the quiet consistency of your character, the steadiness of your reactions, the discipline of your choices. That is what survives, not in memory, but in impact. 14. The final victory, inner freedom. The ultimate goal of Stoicism is not happiness. It is freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from compulsion. Freedom from dependency on what you do not control. When you accept reality, discipline desire, command emotion, act with virtue, endure hardship, and remember impermanence, something extraordinary happens. Nothing can be taken from you. Insults lose power. Loss becomes survivable. Uncertainty becomes manageable. Death becomes natural. Epictetus described the Stoic ideal. Invincible lies the man who has reduced himself to the will of God. In modern terms, the person who aligns his will with reality cannot be defeated by reality. This is not weakness. This is alignment. You stop fighting the world. And in doing so, you become stronger than it. The Stoic way of power. Let us return to where we began. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who try to control life, and are broken by it. And those who control themselves, and move through life unshaken. Stoicism teaches no shortcuts. It offers no comfort illusions. It promises no protection from pain. What it offers is far more valuable. Mastery over the mind. Stability under pressure. Clarity in chaos. Strength without aggression. Peace without passivity. The Stoic does not demand that life be easy. He demands that he be strong. Each day, he remembers what is in his control, what is not, and how to respond with dignity. Because the most powerful weapon you will ever possess is not money, status, or influence. It is your mind, disciplined, clear, and unshaken. When perception is governed, desire restrained, action aligned, and mortality accepted, nothing in this world can truly defeat you. This is Stoicism. Not theory. Not motivation. But a way of being.